In the beginning, there was nothing but a small settlement on the banks of the Tiber River, a place of shepherds and farmers where legends and reality intertwined. They say Rome began with a story of two brothers, Romulus and Remus, abandoned at birth, raised by a she-wolf, and destined for greatness. When Romulus struck down Remus in a clash of ambition, he became the first king of a city that would one day rule the known world. But in these humble beginnings, no one could have imagined what Rome would become. Centuries later, Rome transformed from a kingdom into a republic, built on the idea that power should rest in the hands of the people, or at least some of them. Senators debated in marble halls, generals led legions into distant lands, and citizens filled the bustling streets. Through alliances, conquests, and an unmatched military machine, Rome expanded. One by one, neighboring tribes and cities fell under Roman control. Their armies were disciplined, their infrastructure unmatched, their ambition unstoppable. By the 3rd century BCE, Rome's greatest rival emerged across the sea, Carthage. Two mighty powers collided in the Punic Wars, a struggle that would decide the fate of the Mediterranean. The brilliant Carthaginian general Hannibal crossed the Alps with war elephants, a move so daring it stunned the world. But Rome endured. It adapted, reorganized, and eventually crushed Carthage, leaving its rival in ruins. From the ashes of that war, Rome stood dominant, master of the Western Mediterranean. Conquest brought wealth, but it also brought cracks. As territories grew, so did the divide between the rich elite and the struggling poor. Ambitious generals began to see themselves as more powerful than the Senate itself. Among them was Julius Caesar, a charismatic leader, brilliant strategist, and man of destiny. Caesar's victories in Gaul made him a hero to his soldiers and a threat to Rome's political order. When the Senate tried to curb his power, he crossed the Rubicon River with his army, sparking a civil war that ended centuries of republican rule. In 44 BCE, Julius Caesar was assassinated by senators who hoped to restore the old ways. But instead of saving the republic, his death plunged Rome into chaos. Out of that turmoil emerged Caesar's adopted heir, Octavian, later known as Augustus. Through cunning politics and decisive action, Augustus defeated his rivals and transformed Rome into an empire. The republic was gone, replaced by imperial rule. Under Augustus, Rome entered a golden age. Roads stretched across continents, aqueducts carried fresh water to cities, and a sense of order spread across vast territories. For over 2 centuries, Pax Romana, the Roman peace, allowed trade, culture, and ideas to flourish on an unprecedented scale. The Roman Empire became the heartbeat of the ancient world. From the sands of North Africa to the forests of Germania, from the deserts of the Middle East to the cliffs of Britain, the eagle's standard flew proudly. Rome's cities were marvels of engineering, amphitheaters, baths, temples, and forums filled with life. Its legions enforced stability, its laws structured society, and its language and culture shaped generations to come. But beneath the surface of greatness, seeds of decline were already sown. Maintaining such a vast empire required immense resources. Corruption seeped into government, political intrigue poisoned the Senate, and emperors rose and fell through betrayal and bloodshed. Some rulers, like Trajan and Marcus Aurelius, brought stability and expansion. Others, like Nero and Commodus, dragged the empire into decadence and chaos. The empire grew too large to manage efficiently. Internal strife weakened it, external threats closed in. In the 3rd century, Rome faced a storm. Civil wars erupted as rival claimants fought for the throne. Invasions from Germanic tribes battered its borders. Economic instability and plagues ravaged the population. For a time, the empire nearly collapsed altogether. But under emperors like Diocletian and Constantine, it survived, transformed but not yet fallen. The empire was divided into East and West, an attempt to manage its sprawling lands more effectively. Constantine embraced Christianity, forever changing the cultural and spiritual fabric of Rome. Yet the Western Roman Empire continued to fracture. Wealth and power shifted eastward to Constantinople, while the West struggled with invasions, weak leadership, and economic decline. Barbarian groups, Visigoths, Vandals, and others, pushed deeper into Roman lands, not just as raiders but as settlers seeking stability in a crumbling world. In 410 CE, Rome itself was sacked by the Visigoths, a moment that shocked the ancient world. The Eternal City had fallen to foreign forces for the first time in nearly 800 years. Over the next decades, the Western Empire unraveled piece by piece. Provinces broke away, military strength waned, and political authority disintegrated. In 476 CE, the last Roman emperor in the West, Romulus Augustulus, was deposed by the Germanic general Odoacer. The Western Roman Empire was no more. What had begun as a small settlement had risen to dominate the world, and then, like all empires, it had fallen. But Rome never truly disappeared. The Eastern Roman Empire, known as the Byzantine Empire, carried its legacy for nearly 1,000 more years. Roman law influenced modern legal systems. Roman roads, architecture, and language left indelible marks on Europe. Even centuries after its collapse, leaders from Charlemagne to Mussolini invoked Rome's memory to legitimize their power. Rome became not just a historical empire, but an idea, one that shaped civilizations long after its physical walls crumbled. The rise and fall of Rome is more than a story of battles and emperors. It's the story of ambition, innovation, corruption, resilience, and transformation. It's the story of how human societies build greatness, and how they lose it. From humble beginnings to imperial glory, from stability to collapse, Rome's arc mirrors that of countless empires before and after. But few have left a legacy as enduring. Today, when we walk through ruined amphitheaters or study ancient texts, we are not just looking at the past. We are looking into a mirror. The story of Rome is the story of humanity itself, our capacity for greatness and our vulnerability to our own flaws. And in that mirror, we may find both a warning and a lesson for the future. If you enjoyed this cinematic journey through the rise and fall of the Roman Empire, make sure to subscribe for more epic history documentaries. Our past is not gone, it lives within us, shaping the world we know today.